For bankruptcy or a 401k withdrawal. Okay, thank you so much for this question. I really appreciate your honesty. So without knowing your entire financial situation, it's really difficult to really give you a straight answer, because at the end of the day, we have to take the generalized rules of personal finance and apply it to your context. And that's going to include not only the rest of your numbers, like your income security, even your current salary, like your living expenses, obviously, but also things like what is happening in your life that might need some adjusting or not. You know what I mean? What are we trying to leave room for? But here's some general thoughts. So the idea that maybe bankruptcy is a thing is tells me that maybe there's some debt involved. If there's debt involved, is there another way? Is there a consolidation perhaps that you could actually look into that might be able to offer you more of leeway, higher, instead of having higher APR with credit card debt, for example, maybe it's going to be lower personal loan debt, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe look at that avenue. If it's old 401ks, you're 32, you still have a long time horizon. So in theory, you could quote unquote make up for that bigger withdrawal right now. But depending on your income, if that totals around 60K, that's probably a majority of the retirement reserves that you have right now. It's a pretty significant amount. So I would definitely look into what is the calculation of one, what would you get in your actual pocket? Because with a withdrawal, you're going to be taxed, right, as ordinary income. And potentially, depending on your plan's rules, there might still be an early penalty fee of 10%. So 60K withdrawal does not equal 60K in your pocket. Plus, you want to calculate the long-term cost of it. By that, I mean, if we had left this 60K invested at the age of retirement, so aka 28 years from now, what would it have accrued to? And so if you still feel like that's the best option, what I always think about is okay, then what is the plan, the strategy? Once we've done this withdrawal, how do we get back to where we would have been, right? If that makes sense, right? So is there a plan to adjust your retirement contributions moving forward, et cetera, et cetera? You also want to make sure that you check your plan, your specific rules for the plan that you have, because some may have qualified birth and adoption expenses that you could withdraw. Some may offer a 401k loan, but some not so much, especially if you're not currently at the job anymore. You probably won't be able to take out a loan, but maybe at the current one you can. Again, map out the different options. And sometimes the best way to go about that is literally just calling and getting somebody on the phone and getting the exact numbers, having them run the numbers for you, so you can really take that into consideration. We want to balance both the short-term need, it sounds and the long-term security, the long-term freedom, because ideally in finance, your system is balancing both of those things. The short-term stability and the security, and also the joy, and the long-term freedom, scalability, and also, again, joy. And if debt's a bigger issue, then check out my DIY Money Moves debt payoff strategy. It's only $9, and it walks you through different scenarios to see if any of those might be applicable to you.